out of the car. Get out of the car. Get out of the car. Put your hands behind you. Get out of the car. Put your sunglasses down. Put your hands behind you.
This Florida man was apprehended while waiting for an individual he had met online, anticipating that the person would be a child.
Anything on you gonna cut me, stick me, or poke me?
The body cam footage captures the moment when law enforcement officers arrived at the parking lot, approaching the individual who was acting as a predator. He was forcibly removed from his vehicle, and the officers were met with an expression of astonishment. It seemed as though he never expected to get caught, and he appeared to lack an understanding of why someone would object to him meeting a young child.
You'll lock it? I did.
They deliberated on how to handle the evidence, noting that the man had left his phone unlocked when they pulled him out of the car.
I took him out of the car. He had his phone in his hand. It's still open right now on the driver's seat with the map open. You want me to, he had it in his hand. Do you want me to take it out or do you want it?
The map was still displayed on the screen, and they decided to keep it active as they approached the situation cautiously. If the phone had gone to sleep, they would have needed a phone passcode, which raised legal concerns about compelling someone to provide their phone passcode.
Make sure it doesn't lock.
Yep, I got you.
Will it stay open on map like that?
It has since he had it in his hand, because I told him to put it down when I put him in handcuffs. He had his text part open when I walked up on him.
I'm afraid because to take off to keep it awake, I have to have a passcode.
Yeah, I don't know how the iPhones work on my one.
All right.
But Tim and them said just leave it in there for you to tow it.
By the end of the recording, they were able to arrest the man for his illegal activities, conducting a thorough pat-down to ensure he was not carrying any dangerous items. Nonetheless, they exercised caution, recognizing that one misstep could make the difference between apprehending a predator and allowing him to return to the streets. Nobody desires mishaps to occur during their everyday work routine. Even if you happen to be engaged in criminal activities, your daily experiences may vary, but the universal wish to avoid a negative workday remains intact. Regrettably, when you operate in a high-stakes occupation, the potential consequences are equally elevated.
Hey, get sticks over here with us now. We need sticks with us. Hey, go get sticks, Mark. Get my trunk, get my trunk. Stop! In the trunk. Put your hands up! Hands up! Put it in park, now!
After a series of intense moments, this body camera footage captures the police responding to a perilous driver. The pursuit is brief, and the question arises, how do you elude capture when multiple firearms are aimed at you? The answer is simple, you don't.
Screaming people, back up, back up, back up, back up.
This video clip is somewhat intense, as law enforcement officers work to subdue a woman from Oklahoma. Amid the chaos, officers can be heard uttering profanities as they pin her to the ground. The scene is swarmed with police officers.
Take her and put her in the car.
Far outnumbering the suspects, the road is cluttered with SUVs, serving as makeshift barricades.
Right, 220 headquarters.
Do you have anything on you that's going to poke or stick me?
Watch it out. I do at least 2 or 3 inches. Help me shut this intersection off, please.
Meanwhile, the remaining forces must contend with the aftermath. It's important to note that this was not a victimless crime. The woman in custody is alleged to have rammed a police car, struck a pedestrian, and crashed through a fence into somebody's yard. The individual in question, 36-year-old Courtney Ray Jordan, was attempting to evade officers after being confronted regarding a reported hit and run. It's astonishing to think that all this chaos stemmed from one criminal's decision to evade accountability for her actions.
Okay, you okay, bud?
Just take care of him.
Okay, sit tight. You okay? You see what happened?
At this point, an entire road has been closed off due to the multi-vehicle apprehension, leaving people stranded and awaiting the next developments.
Chasing that lady that's in the backyard of that house right there.
Age does not serve as an exemption from the law. Although younger individuals may receive lighter sentences, being a minor does not absolve one from facing consequences. This body camera footage captures the moment when Ohio police responded to a dangerous incident. Allegedly, these young boys brought guns and masks to school. In situations like these, there is no time to waste, as it could be a matter of life or death.
Detain him. What? You're being detained.
What?
Detain him.
What I'm getting detained for?
As they entered the school, the officers apprehended the boys involved, but they were not cooperative. Instead, the boys scattered in different directions, a strategic move to avoid capture. The officers on foot were determined and relentless in their pursuit. Despite facing physical challenges, they continued to chase after the fleeing kids. The potential consequences of letting them escape, possibly armed, are unknown.
Put your hands up! Don't reach for it. Don't reach for it. All right? Go over. More going.
Anybody with those cars?
8132.
I'm with a couple guys here. On the shoreway.
Thank you. What's your call?
8132.
Out of 11. I'm with 8182. Half a member of Barney 15 as well.
Put them in there.
With the cars.
What, the other two going to school?
What's the description of those guys?
I dropped my cuffs somewhere along.
Nobody read you your rights. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to an attorney if you cannot afford one. You will be provided. Understand?
Eventually, the officers managed to corner and subdue several of the kids, both in groups that attempted different escape routes.
Why are you running?
Even when confronted, the residential group put up a fierce resistance, refusing to submit to arrest.
Why are you running?
Because y'all was grabbing me. What the hell?
You ran before we got to you, man.
It don't matter what is y'all grabbing me for.
Calm down. You just ran.
Be retained for what? You came up to me for no reason first.
Well, we would have told you
We would have
that.
just talked to you.
Why was y'all grabbing me though?
Y'all coming for us for no reason.
This incident was a close call, but the quick and persistent response of these officers may have saved numerous lives that day. Impersonating a police officer is a serious criminal offense due to the power dynamics and potential risks involved. An incident unfolded on the highway when police spotted an unusual occurrence. A man driving an unmarked vehicle was pulling over random civilians along the roadside.
Hey, partner.
Hi.
Hey, I'm Officer Park with the Akron Police Department.
How are you?
The only reason why I'm pulling you over, I guess y'all were, well, that's my chief of police right there. He saw y'all go around traffic. He was trying to figure out who y'all are with or what was going on.
Okay.
So he called out on the radio and asked for a marked unit. That's why I got you pulled over.
That's fine.
So I'll just let him come up if you want to ask. Who y'all work for, Georgia Metropolitan?
Yeah, I'm off-duty hero operator.
The police chief was the first to notice this anomaly and was immediately suspicious, as he had not authorized any such activity on that stretch of highway, and the vehicle's license plates were unfamiliar. For individuals engaging in criminal activity like this, it represents the worst-case scenario.
I got my car checked up because you can see all the lights on.
Why is the car registered to an individual?
That's mine.
The man in question, 33-year-old Gerardson Mackey, who was operating a retired police cruiser equipped with emergency lights.
Did I see you using emergency lights to pull out into traffic?
When questioned, Mackey claimed to be a private contractor working off-duty as a hero, asserting that he had the necessary permits. He also stated that he dressed in a replica police uniform resembling local law enforcement.
I'm an off-duty hero operator. This is my company.
Okay.
Yeah, I do criminal details. Yeah.
So you look like me, you're impersonating a police officer.
Oh, no, sir. I'm not impersonating, sir.
You got any ID on you?
Yes, sir. If you look in the front. If you look in the front.
Yeah. I see red lights. I saw red lights when you pulled out.
Yeah, that's sir. That's when it activated to the back.
Yeah. Where's your ID?
Right, yes, chief.
Do you have a lighting permit for the vehicle?
Yeah, right there on the glass.
When confronted about his actions, Mickey became evasive in his responses, carefully choosing his words to avoid getting caught in a lie. The officers engaged in a back-and-forth examination of Mackey's documentation and permits, diligently scrutinizing all available information. Eventually, Mackey was asked to exit the vehicle and request to show the contents of his car, although this conversation was not audibly recorded. Instead, the arresting officer attempted to explain the perplexing situation to others.
The thing is so he has a lighting permit that's valid. He has a lighting permit that's valid for the vehicle.
Can't have red though. Can't have red or blue, right?
That's what I'm curious about. If he has a company that does escorts, I'd have to look back in the law. I would assume it's amber or white.
Right.
But at the very least, from what Chief's saying, he's improperly using it. He's not on an escort.
Right.
He's just trying to cheat his way into traffic. So at the very least, I have him on improper use of emergency equipment.
Speeding down Brown Road.
Mackey became visibly agitated when he realized there was no way to avoid a citation. Regardless of how many times he sought to retract or challenge the citation, the officer remained unwavering.
With what my chief's observation, the use of those are for strictly business purposes. You can't be using it to pull in the traffic, okay?
Yes, sir.
So I am going to issue a citation for unlawful operation for emergency vehicle, okay? Just here.
I know, let me just talk to Chief real quick before, because I'm telling you how it's going to work. Even though I'm doing this on my private side, once I get this ticket, GDOT is going to ground me again. I'm going to get grounded. And that's why I'm trying to don't interfere my personal business with GDOT. Anytime they run a driver's license number, I'm going to get grounded. I ask the chief, please.
But you have to understand that this whole scenario is a big issue for us too, because the uniform and lights and all that. This is when it gets.
The thing is, this is my company. I run my company respectfully,
okay?
Because I deal with high clients. This is my uniform. Nothing on me say officer, nothing. This is my uniform.
I got you.
You understand? But please, I just want to talk to the chief. I know you're going to still do your job. I mean no harm. You can check me. My badge number is 44 as I run the express lanes.
Just hear me out.
I don't want to get grounded.
If the chief wants to argue, that's fine. But this is going to stand. All right. Just let me explain this. What I need you to do is sign here at the X. Signing is not an admission.
I know.
Okay.
Impersonating a police officer is a serious crime, and it's crucial for citizens to be able to distinguish genuine law enforcement, as they are subject to a certain level of regulation and oversight. While this may not always work in practice, the idea of individuals taking it upon themselves to enforce their version of the law with counterfeit badges is undeniably alarming.
Auto-generated court date right now is showing for the 18th of August at 9 a.m. at our court. The address is right there on the back of your copy. This phone number right here is to the court services. It takes about 3 to 5 business days for the citation. Give them a call and they'll explain everything.
Regrettably, some individuals make decisions with ill intentions. Being a person of color in America can sometimes result in discrimination, solely based on one's skin color or place of origin.
If you took it without paying for it,
I don't steal. I don't steal.
Then all they want to do is not have you here.
I don't steal.
Okay, then show me your receipt.
I won't do that.
Then show me your receipt.
I won't do that. So how they gonna say I stole if they didn't see me steal?
Ma'am, what is your name? What's your name? Come down. What's your name?
No, I see this every day.
Listen to me.
Every day.
Do you think I want any trouble right now?
But do you know how many people done walked in that stuff while you out here bothering me that they're stealing?
Ma'am, they simply asked if you had a receipt. They didn't see you go through a register.
But why don't they go through all the registers and ask the people if they see me?
Ma'am.
Let's walk back in there.
Where's your receipt?
Come on, let's walk back in there.
Bring your receipt.
Let's walk back in there.
You have your receipt.
Let's walk back in there.
Just show me your receipt.
No, I'm not going to do that.
I'm not letting you go back in the store.
Okay, then,
is that your receipt from today?
It is, but I'm not showing because I ain't got no receipt. Y'all can't make me show nothing.
I can.
No, you can't.
Actually, I can, and you're not giving me your ID, so I can't prove that you didn't take anything.
No,
so I don't know.
Anyways.
Why are we arguing about this?
Because y'all profile black people every day like that.
Everybody that shops in here is black. Everybody that shops in here is black.
No, everybody ain't.
The body camera footage captured the moment leading up to the arrest of a woman in Jacksonville. In many instances like this, we witness the pivotal moment when police apprehend individuals who were attempting to evade accountability. In this particular case, it appears that the police officer believed he was merely removing a criminal from the streets. He had reason to suspect that the woman had shoplifted from a local store and was displaying belligerent behavior. The woman strongly objected to being labeled a thief and repeatedly refused to provide proof of purchase, insisting that the officer contact her supervisor. The officer declined her request, convinced that the situation was straightforward. she had stolen, and now she was vehemently denying it.
No, I'm not.
You're going to jail.
No, I'm not. Call your mama.
Come on.
No, I'm not.
You're gonna go to jail. I'm gonna taser you. I'm gonna taser you right here, right now.
Tase me.
I'm gonna tase you right now.
Tase me.
Get out of the car.
Tase me.
Get out of the car. Get out of the car. You're under arrest. You're under arrest.
I'm under arrest for what?
Get out of the car.
I'm under arrest for what?
Turn around.
Call your mama.
Turn around right now.
What am I under arrest for?
Turn around right now for not cooperating.
Cooperating?
Turn around.
I didn't steal.
Although we can't show every detail, the encounter quickly escalated into a physical altercation between the officer and the alleged offender.
That's all you wanted.
I guess so.
So.
I guess you gave me what I wanted.
Yeah. What's up? Yeah. Oh, yeah, hold on a second.
I didn't steal. And you talking about you took. What the you holding me for?
I just
It don't need two of y'all. Are you serious? That's what's wrong with y'all now. You tightening my hand and I'm not even moving.
Gotta get my jacket out of the car.
You doing the most.
She was eventually placed in the back of a police car while another officer searched her vehicle, leaving her children behind.
TV over there. There's a bunch of kids in it.
Throughout this tense encounter, the woman berated the officer as he roughly escorted her back to his squad car, making threats of legal action that he seemed to dismiss with laughter.
What's your first
I
name?
have to give my ID. I don't
Yes,
have
you
to give
do.
my receipt. No, I don't.
Okay. Well, that's why you're in the position you're in.
It is, and I'm gonna be out.
That's why you're in the position that you're in.
My uncle worked in WCP.
Well, that's the whole reason why you did what you did then.
It's fine.
That's fine with me too.
It's fine.
Wonderful. Hold
Did I
on.
steal, sir? No.
CGY 793 out 35. Those are my
Y'all know I didn't. Y'all just profiling me because I was black. You seen me come through the
Step out.
race.
Let me step out.
Fortunately, in this instance, the truth prevailed. Her receipt ultimately proved her innocence. Nevertheless, this doesn't erase the stressful events that transpired that day. Regardless of how meticulously a crime is planned, when the moment of execution arrives and all factors are in play, things can take an unexpected turn. In Streetsboro, Ohio, body camera and surveillance footage capture the pivotal moments when these aspiring thieves overlooked a crucial element in their scheme. It appeared they lacked an active lookout or a foolproof escape plan. As a result, each of them forcefully entered the rear of the store, swiftly overpowering a young employee. They proceeded to ransack the back office, leaving no drawer unopened or surfaced unexamined. Their intent was to be thorough, but they were not swift enough. At the front of the store, police quickly subdued them on the scene, catching them off guard with their rapid response. Clearly, they had not anticipated such a swift reaction. The thieves promptly and unquestionably complied, lowering themselves to the floor with their hands raised. Their plan might have been flawless, except it seems they overlooked the possibility of law enforcement arriving. Perhaps, had they appointed a lookout or established a means of communication to warn of approaching officers, the outcome might have been different.
Radio traffic. Okay. Keep coming
Then
out.
come out.
Keep coming out. Don't put your hands out. Drop to the ground. Let me see. Drop to the ground. Drop to the ground. Anyone else in there?
Unfortunately, individuals who resort to a life of crime often operate under high levels of stress, which can lead to errors. In this line of work, mistakes can be extremely costly, potentially resulting in life or death consequences.
You guys cover? I got him. Go. I got you covered. Go.
Got another one in the back.
I have cuffs on the front of me.
Imagine this scenario. It's a typical evening in Sterling Heights, a suburb within the vast Detroit metropolitan area. The moon hangs low in the sky, casting an eerie glow over the streets. Suddenly, the phones at a local police station start ringing incessantly. Reports of suspicious activity flood in, creating a wave of anticipation among the officers on duty. Let's be candid. This isn't your run-of-the-mill police department we're discussing here. These are highly skilled officers prepared to confront any challenges that come their way. Nevertheless, the possibility of a high-stress, high-stakes situation never fails to send a rush of excitement through their ranks. The officers received a call about a pharmacy in the midst of being actively looted. They approached the scene cautiously, unsure of the impending confrontation. As they drew closer, the cacophony of chaos became audible, shelves toppling, glass shattering, and the unmistakable sounds of individuals scurrying about. They had to act swiftly. The number of suspects inside and the potential weapons they might possess were unknown variables. However, their duty was crystal clear: safeguard the innocent and bring the wrongdoers to justice.
Put your hands up!
Yep, I got the bag. Yeah, they're right out front.
With adrenaline coursing through their veins and hearts racing, the officers charged into the building. Every move had to be calculated. One misstep could mean the difference between life and death. Pursuing the suspects on foot, they sprinted through alleys and back streets, resolute in their determination to apprehend the culprits before they could escape. In high-stakes situations like these, you never know which one will test your mettle. Sometimes you must act instinctively, hoping you've made the right choice in the heat of the moment.
Anytime I got one custody. How old are you? 20? Stand up. You get on your butt? They went that way. All right, let's go. Stand up.
The courage and selflessness exhibited by the police cannot be emphasized enough. Each day, they embark on their duties to serve and safeguard their community. And sometimes, as exemplified by the actions of these two officers in Boston, they transcend the call of duty. The footage portrays the dire situation faced by a father and son when their boat collides with rocks, hurling them into the harbor. With the frigid water rapidly draining their strength, time became a critical factor. Fortunately, the harbor unit officers were in close proximity and promptly sprang into action. Their heroic endeavors were not without peril. They had to contend with the icy water and powerful currents to reach the distressed individuals. Yet, their extensive training and unwavering dedication to their responsibilities proved to be pivotal. While it is true that they were merely fulfilling their duties and one could expect swift action during patrols, it's essential to recognize that incidents like these underscore the necessity of having a police presence. If officers are not present before an emergency unfolds, the potential consequences are uncertain. We mustn't allow the actions of a few individuals to tarnish the reputation of the entire force, or should we? Police are frequently depicted as the guardians, the individuals entrusted with safeguarding us from wrongdoers. They serve as the initial line of defense against various threats, ranging from criminal activity to violence. But what if those tasked with our protection have hidden motives of their own? You may have come across accounts of the scarcity of truly honorable police officers and how the reality may be bleaker than we had imagined. Unfortunately, this is not merely hearsay. It occurs more frequently than one might think. Consider this video clip as an example. It begins rather conventionally with a routine traffic stop. However, a sudden and unexpected turn of events takes place. The individual behind the wheel is evidently intoxicated, displaying slurred speech and avoiding eye contact.
A what?
Captain.
Of what? Don't reach in your pocket. Get back in your car.
He claims to be a captain, a statement that initially strikes the officer as peculiar. The officer appears nonchalant about this revelation, raising suspicions.
You've been drinking tonight, sir.
I'm a captain on the police department.
What police department?
Oklahoma City.
As the officer continues to probe for more information, the inebriated captain mumbles something under his breath, almost imperceptible. Despite his attempt to have the other officer disable his camera, his colleague remains resolute in holding him accountable. Even though they both belong to the same law enforcement fraternity, the officer recognizes the gravity of drunk driving and refuses to let the captain off the hook. Eventually, the captain is compelled to confess that he had consumed an excessive amount of alcohol during a poker game.
How much you drink at your poker game?
Not much.
Not much? How much is not much?
I don't know.
Beer? Liquor?
Yeah.
How
Beer.
many beers?
3 or 4.
3 or 4? How long ago was that?
It's been going on a while.
He had swerved in front of the wrong officer that fateful night, and now he had to face the consequences. His unsteady demeanor makes it impossible for him to complete the sobriety test from the start. His pleas intensify, but they fall on deaf ears.
Sir,
Go on.
can you turn that off?
I cannot, sir.
Please.
I know you're aware of our body cam policy. You know I cannot turn off this body
I
cam.
do, but I'd like to talk to you.
I can't do that, sir.
Please.
Despite all this, the officer maintains his professionalism. He merely reminds the captain of the department's body camera policy and offers him the opportunity to complete the field sobriety test.
All right, anytime you're ready, you may begin.
1, 2, 3.
However, the captain eventually fails the test and is transported to a local detention center, where he is later released on bond. It's impossible to know how frequently such incidents occur and how often these body cameras are intentionally switched off, concealing the officer's misconduct. The mere fact that they can be turned off is deeply unsettling.
Can we turn the camera off now?
Yeah, we'll turn the camera off now.
Thank you.
Police officers approach the residence of Paul Pelosi in San Francisco, who is married to Congresswoman Nancy Pelosi. Their approach seems initially gradual, suggesting it might be related to a noise complaint or a wellness check, completely contrasting with the shocking events unfolding inside the house. Unfortunately, the disturbing and violent nature of what occurred cannot be shown on YouTube. The alleged perpetrator, David DePape, is apprehended with a hammer in hand, alongside the partially clothed husband of the Congresswoman.
How you doing? What's going on, man? Hi. Drop the hammer.
As they attempt to wrest the hammer from the assailant, a sudden and violent struggle ensues, prompting the officers to swiftly intervene and separate the two men. The video clip then transitions to security footage, capturing the moment when the assailant approaches the rear of the Pelosi residence, evidently preparing for the attack. The entire incident appears haphazardly orchestrated, as if the individual had conceived and executed the plan hastily, driven by his political beliefs and escalating instability. He crouches down to rummage through his bags, ensuring that no one is observing him, all while extracting the hammer. Although we can't ascertain his exact thoughts, it becomes evident as he forcefully breaches the locked back door that his intentions are clear. This incident unfolds in Maricopa, Arizona, focusing on Kyle Thomas, a 20-year-old who found herself in a challenging situation after someone reported her Chevrolet Camaro stuck in a ditch. What could have been a straightforward encounter escalated into a more complex situation. The video begins with the police officer approaching the stranded Camaro and making contact with the people inside. They explained that their car veered off the road due to tire issues.
Swerved off the road.
Who did?
Me.
Initially, the man in the driver's seat claimed to have been driving, but later, the female passenger, Kyle, admits to being the driver during the incident.
Okay, well, I'm gonna need you to come out of the vehicle and talk with me then.
This information, along with their actions, raised suspicions as it appears they switched seats before the police arrived. The officer asks Thomas to exit the vehicle, and she complies.
All right, so tell me what happened.
At one point, he offers her the option to rest in the vehicle, and she responds with, "Arrest?" indicating her concern.
You need to rest on the vehicle?
Arrest?
Do you need to rest on the vehicle?
Strangely, the officer inquires about the man's alcohol consumption without asking her if she had consumed any.
How much have you had to drink today?
Not that much, but my car been up, like, I'm finna move back to my mom's house and stuff like that.
Okay.
And
So
it just been breaking down, like, I don't know, like, if it's just what's going on, but, like, everything, it's just been coming to like a crash. Like, everything has just been coming to a crash.
Okay.
Her appearance and speech patterns likely led him to skip this question. The officer also questions the direction from which she was driving when she swerved off the road, and her hand gestures make it unclear. When the officer starts connecting the dots, the man in the car suddenly shouts at Thomas, advising her not to talk.
You coming from there?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you mean when she talks? She has to talk to me.
No, she does.
Yes, she does.
Hey, you don't have to talk to him.
This sudden outburst only adds to the suspicion. Thomas begins to show signs of distress, crossing her arms and tears welling up in her eyes. The officer repeatedly asks her what's wrong, but she appears hesitant to respond. The man then leans out of the car to monitor her, further agitating her. She shifts and turns away, breaking into tears.
Why you back here just staring at me, man?
I'm trying to make sure she's cool.
How would she not be cool?
She crying?
Yeah, because you know she messed up. That's why. Come on, let's walk up here. Let's get off this dirt, okay? Hold my hand.
The officer extends his hand to help her out of the ditch, and they move to the street for further questioning, effectively separating her from the man. The officer asks her about her speed, and she dismisses the question, diverting the conversation.
How fast were you driving?
I was driving that fast. It went out. I barely have gas in my car.
Huh?
So it go out like that. I barely have gas in my car.
When asked about her alcohol consumption again, she replies with, "I don't know."
How much have you had to drink?
I don't know.
Her words beginning to slur. She expresses concern for the man, revealed to be her boyfriend.
Nothing's necessarily going to happen to him, but we're trying to find out what's going on, right?
And offers another explanation, saying that her car ran out of gas. Repeatedly, she insists, "I don't want to pay $5 for gas." By the end of this encounter, she appears dazed and giggles as she repeats, "I don't want to pay $5.
I'm worried about you and your
I don't want to pay
intoxication
$5.
level.
I don't want to pay $5. I don't want to pay $5.
The footage then shows two officers handcuffing Thomas, and in the next scene, they attempt to place her in the back seat of their vehicle. It's important to note that she had been cooperative and forthcoming until this point.
According to her. What's her name? I don't know her name yet.
I have to pee.
Her picture kind of looks like it. Man, there's no place out here. I gotta take you to the station to pee.
Let me pee right there.
No.
I swear, I don't want to pee on myself.
Let's go.
I don't want
We can't let you pee right here.
We'll
get you back to the station. You can pee.
However, as they try to seat her in the back, she suddenly insists on it, displaying a change in demeanor. From there, her behavior worsens.
I need your name. What's your name?
Man.
What is your name? You'll get more charges.
When asked to identify herself, Thomas becomes combative, refusing to answer the officer's questions. She also changes her story, claiming she wasn't the one driving the Camaro. Her boyfriend was.
You're driving under the influence.
I'm always driving. Why? I was not driving. My boyfriend was driving. Like, she never said I was driving.
Her attitude becomes more defiant, and her mental state appears to deteriorate.
Because at this point, no, I
thought you had a pee.
manager. Yeah, at this point I don't. You know why? Because that's just a bunch of bullshit.
Okay.
She resists putting her legs inside the vehicle for the door to close and claims to have a recording camera despite her restrained arms. As the officers force her into the vehicle and attempt to close the door, she continues to resist and screams for her boyfriend. The footage cuts to their arrival at the police station with the officer putting on latex gloves as Thomas kicks the police car door from the inside. When they open the door, a portion of the footage is censored over Thomas's body, indicating some level of undress. Then the officers escort Thomas into a cell where she expresses disturbing threats and screams. In the end, Thomas was charged with 3 counts of aggravated assault on a police officer, to which she pled guilty. Instead of serving jail time, Her plea agreement sentenced her to 18 months of probation under supervision. Unfortunately, this would not be the last time Thomas was pulled over. On December 11th, just 9 months later at 3 a.m., police stopped a vehicle traveling the wrong way on North John Wayne Parkway. Kyle Thomas, showing obvious signs of intoxication, was behind the wheel, and police also found an open wine bottle on the passenger side floor. Some people never learn. What occurs when a criminal situation becomes self-evident? This August afternoon in Kennesaw took an unexpected turn.
So why'd y'all call? So like what happened?
Because we ordered the food, he couldn't print us a receipt.
Okay.
So he said the receipt would be printed in the back. So I said, okay. So we sat down, me and my fiance looking for homes around here.
Gotcha.
So we went back to Progressive Rentals looking at homes.
Uh-huh.
I guess our order was called, but we don't even know our order number.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So now our food is sitting there cold. So when I come up, I say, you know, I try the fries. The fries they're lukewarm, but they're not hot. And at this point, you don't touch them. So, you know, yeah, can I just get it the first set?
Okay.
So is he getting the fries? And I said, can I also get the receipt? That was 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Excuse me, sir. 5 minutes ago, I can run my store however I want to run my store.
Okay.
This now, sir, I done paid. He said, matter of fact, you can leave my property. Get off my property now. Or you can come and get, I do a refund. I say, sir, with Cash App card, this 3 to 7 business days to do a refund. Just give me my set of fries and my receipt. That's what you're supposed to do anyway when I pay for my order.
From what initially appeared to be an irate McDonald's customer, the narrative unfolds simply. Despite the man's erratic behavior, he received his food but didn't receive a receipt, and when it was served, it was cold. That wasn't quite what the responding officer had anticipated. Upon arriving at the scene, they encountered a confrontation between the manager and the customer, leading to the customer's ejection due to his inability to produce a receipt, which, as it turns out, he hadn't been given in the first place. However, this incident wasn't the sole reason for their call. The manager had also placed a call, but the accounts of the events didn't align.
Okay, so break it down for me. What happened?
It's just that all his food's cold.
Okay.
It's burning my hands, so whatever. That's, doesn't really matter.
Okay.
Took it to the next level, starts cussing me. You better give me fresh fries, mother. It's like, what? Here's a little old lady, and she just came up to us and said, if you need me to talk to the police, it's like, no, I got this. But he starts losing it, starts shoving his food at me. And I said, sorry. I said, well, tell you what, you can take your business elsewhere, give me a car, give me a refund. No, you're not going to give me an effing refund, you're going to give me that food and my money back. I said, okay, look, sir. He started shoving his food. I took his food. He's got nothing to shove at me, because next thing you know, he's throwing his drink at me. So I took his food, took a Sprite, put it in the trash. Give me your card, I'll give you a refund. Take your business elsewhere. Please don't come back.
Okay.
Screaming at me, I want him CT'd.
Okay. Did you give him his refund? Like, is that all part?
He refused to.
Okay.
You're not going to give me a refund.
Okay.
Excuse my language.
No, you're fine.
This is the way he was talking.
Okay.
So I don't want him CT'd. I don't want to ever have him back.
The manager recalled a more heated encounter with the customer, involving not just receiving his food, but also throwing a drink at the manager, thus escalating the situation beyond a mere receipt dispute. The officer facilitated a refund for the customer, but the man was prohibited from returning to the premises.
As a business owner, he has the right to refuse service to anyone he chooses to refuse service to. Just like if you own a business, you have the same right to do the same thing. So hang out with him. I'm going to get that form. It's a simple form that says, hey, just don't come back to this McDonald's. Now, I'll tell you, if you do come back to this McDonald's and we get caught out here, you go to jail.
I'm not.
All right?
I'm not. I got it smart.
So, you cool with the refund?
Yeah, so
okay.
I just got to go in there and tap my card.
Yeah, I will get that in just a second, okay?
It seemed like the situation would be resolved amicably, and the angered customer appeared mostly satisfied once the officer explained his available options. This is where it could have concluded with no further incident. However, that was not the end of the story. The manager drew attention to something significant: the man's ankle bracelet.
I mean, dude's obviously on probation, got an ankle bracelet on.
It became evident that this was not an ordinary individual, but Anton Sims, a murder suspect. The body camera recorded the moment when Anton became apprehensive. He steadily moved away from the officer, who followed closely.
Can you come over here, man?
No, I'm afraid of y'all, sir.
Why are you afraid?
I've been here 3 years, sir. I'm afraid of
All right, I'm gonna walk you through. Why are you doing that?
I know how to fill it out.
Why are you doing that?
I know how to fill it. Am I arrested?
Yeah.
Anton seized the opportunity, sprinting away from the officer quickly enough to trip him up and make his escape. Allegedly, Sims was later apprehended in an apartment complex, but he came dangerously close to evading capture entirely. Thanks for watching. Stay vigilant, friends.